Okay, so it seems like we have a little bit of an update on the whole Virtuacon situation. Now, if you don't know, we covered this a couple of days ago whenever it first dropped, literally the first couple of minutes whenever it dropped, that there was some pretty interesting drama that went on with Virtuacon, and it seems like they have now gone completely silent. Virtuacon, if you don't know, was supposed to be a VTuber event that was running from the 20th to the 21st of December, and at the time of making this video, it is the 21st of December, and if you go over to their Twitch channel, well, they're not live, right? Obviously, they're not live, and it seems like, obviously, this is a thing that has essentially crumbled after a ton of VTubers found out what this company really was, what was really getting behind this, and yeah, it's been pretty interesting with a couple of new things that have come out in terms of how these VTubers have even signed up to this event in the first place. But obviously, yeah, Vexoria has been very, very vocal about it, as well as many other VTubers saying, unfortunately, I will not be participating in Virtuacon. And obviously, this and many other posts came out at a similar time, as a lot of people found out exactly what was behind this. And essentially, what was behind Virtuacon was a ton of different stuff, including AI-generated content, which obviously, you know, some people dislike, some people like. Again, I don't really care, but I think for a VTuber, obviously, I can totally understand why they do not want to interact with AI generated content. And also, I'm unsure on how they didn't even notice the AI generated content in the first place, because it is very, very obvious, right? But also, as well, not only that, if you know, some of those people didn't really care about AI, and if you don't care about AI personally, well, also there was this whole thing of crypto and some kind of pyramid scheme stuff going on from some of the organizers of the event, which I don't think is the best, right? Obviously, some people were arguing in the comments whenever I made a Twitter post about this, essentially saying, oh, why do you care about AI and crypto so much? It's great. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? The problem is, it's literally a pyramid scheme. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to get involved in a pyramid scheme. I don't think any of these VTubers want to get involved in a pyramid scheme. It's not just the crypto and AI aspect. It's the fact that, you know, people are being scammed out of their money. People are, you know, getting involved in these pretty shady stuff. You know, obviously VTubers are not going to want to interact with it, right? I don't think that's the most craziest thing to say. Now, obviously, some of the things people are asking, you know, how did these VTubers even get invited to this in the first place? How did they get so many big VTubers, including obviously people like Vex, including people like Feifei, including even more people as well that are really big in the space? How did they even, you know, sign up to this if it was so obvious that there's AI and all of this kind of stuff? Well, we actually have a look at one of the emails from Powder here saying, how do VTubers look at this and agree to go with it? Even without the warning, Virtuacon sounded sus. Obviously, you can see here, it says, this message seems dangerous. They say, yeah, dear Powdery, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Chloe, and I help at Virtuacon, where we work with VTubers on brand partnerships and sponsor opportunities with significant growth. And obviously, yeah, they go on and talk about it, but you can see there is a literal warning about the email itself. And obviously, I don't even know how some of these VTubers managed to just avoid that warning altogether, because again, obviously, I think that in this case, that warning worked, right? It really did warn them that there's something, you know, interesting going on with this event, right? Some people saying, you know, Virtuacon was meant to start by now, which is obviously, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. With no posts on their socials in the past few days, it seems like this has been completely abandoned by the organizers. As much as I'd like to hear the fansub guys explain what the deal is with this con, I'm just glad the VTubers stood up for their beliefs and pulled out. I honestly think this would have been a horrible disaster on multiple levels if it had gone ahead. And yeah, it seems like they're quiet there. And also, I checked in on the Discord, because they've got a Discord too. And again, the moderators are completely gone. They're still there, but they're not talking. Like, if you look at the chat, in the general chat before, they were actively interacting with members and things and talking about their day and whatever. But now they're just completely silent. And all the general chat is filled up with now is like pictures of elephants in rooms and saying, address me. Which I think is quite funny. Obviously, they're saying address the elephant in the room because obviously no one has said anything, right? There's been no response. There's been no official response. And I think it's because they can't provide an official response, right? And obviously, there's some issues as well. Some people were bringing up stuff, for example, like the TOS and the different safety precautions that they had in terms of these events, right? And apparently, some of that was also written by AI. And obviously, as I said, you know, you can care about AI, you can't care about AI. But whenever it comes to safety precautions, and safety and different kind of things that are supposed to make sure things run smoothly and people, are fine. Obviously, this is a virtual event, so I don't think there'll be very many safety things. But I think in terms of, just kind of, I guess, keeping things running smoothly, I would kind of want that to be written by a person. Because again, you could hate AI, you could love AI. I don't think it's going to give you the best kind of smooth running thing of all time, right? But again, hey, maybe they do. I'm not sure. But they say, speaking of Virtuacon, I never joined because my email immediately flagged it as spam. So it seems like a lot of other VTubers as well also got the same email. Obviously, they said it was going to happen on November 29th to 30th. So maybe they changed the timing of that later on. But yeah, obviously, they also got this big red thing saying this message might be dangerous. Which again, I don't know how, some people, didn't see this. I don't know how vexed people didn't see this. But again, maybe it's just like a manager or something that just kind of glossed over it and was trying to get them opportunities. Which again, obviously that could be true. Obviously, people saying Virtuacon are being found using AI, NFTs, phishing, and VTubers dropping out left and right. They got invited to Virtuacon a while back, looked into it, it felt sketchy, so I didn't answer back. Sad to know my gut feeling was right, which, yeah, obviously they dodged a bullet with that one, right? And obviously, yeah, these were some of the this was one of the moderators that used to interact with the chat quite a lot in terms of the Virtuacon Discord. And yeah, it seems like they've gone completely silent as well, right? And people saying, have I missed something? Why am I seeing a load of friends joining this Virtuacon thing? We looked at this last time. This was actually way before people dropped out. And obviously they were pointing out the fact that this is AI generated, which obviously some people argued the fact that, oh, it's not. But again, I do think it is. And yeah, here it is. I found the brand guidelines for Virtuacon, and this whole document is 100% generative AI written. Which again, I don't think it's generative AI if it's written, but again, I'm not sure. But yeah, obviously there's a logo, a system, and things like that. It's all AI generated, which yeah, isn't great whenever you're trying to write like official documents about the event, right? People saying, just my 2 cents about the whole weird Virtuacon situation. I got around 5 typical scam emails from them trying to get me to join their event. They used the typical copy and paste generic sponsorship emails telling me that I'll be a great asset. Red flags, bro. So yeah, obviously that's the case there. And essentially a lot of people are just saying like, hey, yikes, how the hell did this even happen, right? People said logging off for a while. Way too many people jumping on others for joining Virtuacon, blaming the talent. It's great that a lot of people saw the red flags, but not all of us did. And yeah, I think it is a case of like, I think some people are being a little bit too harsh on some of the talent that are obviously getting involved with Virtuacon and have now left. And obviously some people saying like, it should have been obvious, it's very obvious they were using AI. It's very obvious that this was going on. And maybe that is the case, but I do think that obviously it's not the VTubers' fault. And, at the end of the day, all of them have dropped out. All of them have found out that this is going on. And I think that is the only kind of way you want to go about this, right? People saying, I saw Warwick's post pop up on my feed today. I asked in Virtuacon's Discord for the talents about the AI and NFTs because I know that it's a great concern of mine and everyone else that was there for the event. Not everything that ends up in the spam folder is immediately awful. I have a musical artist I follow and her emails end up in my junk folder, as do other important emails. Instead of looking down on talents, talking about it in a way that's helpful and can end up shaping VTuber sphere in a better light. I thought we were going to raise money for a wonderful cause. Shame on people for turning it around to being so heartless, which, yeah, I do think is the case. Obviously, yeah, people saying, low-key, I'm glad that everyone backed away from Virtuacon. I got an email about it and chose not to participate because of the red flags. And it seems like, yeah, there's a lot of people that chose not to participate before it even happened, which I do think, obviously, is interesting. And many people were very, very, I guess, on the nose about their suspicions about the event, right? But again, essentially, that is the whole update to this. Obviously, people sharing their emails now of exactly what they got. I think the emails itself wasn't super sketchy. It was just kind of like, professional speak. But yeah, obviously they've got like this message seems dangerous sign on their email. And obviously a lot of people still did click on that, which I think is crazy. But again, I don't think it's their fault. I think it is just something that happens every now and again. And, at the end of the day, Virtuacon is not going on at the moment. And it seems like it is entirely dead in the water. So again, obviously no VTubers will be attending that. The con isn't even going on. So yeah, obviously it seems like it's over, right? And that's it. That's all we have to really say about this. But yeah, essentially, that's all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaz to get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.